Another Kardashian wedding, and we have some really sad Kardashian news. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Cocktails with Khloe, episode 12, Spills the Tea, here on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Let's get it started. Oh, you're really not gonna have to say.
We got some singers in this room.
And the bass
Hey guys, you're watching Cocktails with Khloe here on AfterBuzz TV. Oh, it's still a little loud, still going.
In this context, ain't no disrespect.
You break your neck.
We got karaoke for you guys with AfterBuzz tonight.
So I am your host, Justine. You can find me on Twitter at Justine DiVanna 3, on Instagram at Let's Face It with Justine, and I am joined by my lovely co-host here.
Hello guys, you can now find me on YouTube under Dakota T Jones. I just posted a really fun Q&A video, and then also on Instagram and Twitter it's still at Mr. Dakota T Jones.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Laila Sadny.
Hi guys, I'm Samantha Benitz. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz.
I love when you do that.
I switched it up a little, switched up the flow there. You catch that?
I like it.
So this episode was a little slow, not gonna lie, but it's okay.
Slow? More like fast.
Fast.
There was just so much happening at once.
Oh, I meant that I was just like, it was dragging a little bit.
Yeah,
But it's okay. I mean, we had fun.
I liked the guests.
Yeah, I mean, the first guest, her name is Jeannie Mai. She's from The Real. And she's also, if anybody knows her, she's the previous host of Style Network's How Do I Look? So that was, they canceled that network. But I've honestly seen Jeannie like a bunch of times. I've been to The Real like 3 times. So did you guys know who she was?
I knew she was a fashion expert and a TV personality, and I love her personality. I feel like she's so bubbly and cute.
Bubbly, yeah.
And I love her style. Like, literally every week she has a new hairstyle or makeup look, and she's such an inspiration in that regard to me.
Extremely early news and gossip. I know multiple people that met her and said she's a complete bitch.
Really?
Yeah, I liked her. And I was like, oh my god, she's so nice, blah, blah, blah. And then multiple people are like, she's like to work with, like, get me this, get me that. Like, she think, this is what I heard.
You know, that's so funny because just the other day I met a celebrity who I'm not going to name names because, like, I like this person, so I don't want to name names, but I met this person who in the media is painted as this ray of sunshine, beautiful, just like bubbly little person, and I met her the other day and she was not nice. Like, she was, you know, like polite-ish, but you could just tell she thought she was all that in a bag of chips.
Sometimes it's like the perception of what you are and who you really are is this far from the truth.
So I still like them, but my respect for them came down a little bit.
I don't understand. I don't understand being like that. Once you have some success in anything in your life, you should be grateful and appreciative and not treat people like crap.
No.
That's what I don't get. And you know that everyone started from nowhere except for the Kardashians. That's why they all are, because they grew up having money, and I feel like the people that came from nothing, it's like you'd think they'd be more appreciative and thankful. Like if I was to ever like get onto a show, like I've literally started from nothing,
and especially
I feel so appreciative,
especially in the entertainment business. Like it people that get bad raps and they don't work. So I don't understand why you'd be like that at all.
Yeah, I can see if you catch them on an off moment, like if they're not really in the mood to talk to certain people, and especially if you're being like flooded and not really having your personal boundaries respected. But if you do have a meet and greet arranged, I think it's definitely good to come with a smile and greet the people who are supporting your career and definitely taking the time out of their day to be there with you. So.
For your assistants that are getting you coffee, actually talking to them nicely and not snapping at them.
Crazy. It just makes me so mad when people think that they are just that cool. I can't.
You're a normal person. Oh, anybody have a pen? I'm writing down what I gotta talk about news and gossip later. I just thought about it. I totally forgot about it, but
what did you think of the other guest, Tisha Campbell from Dr.
Don't get me started. I love her.
I love her.
She was like my queen, especially because I used to watch like late night reruns of Martin. Yeah, Martin.
So she is.
That was my show.
She is starring in Fox's TV series Martin.
Dr. Ken.
Yeah, and she was awesome. We also had Taronda Jones, and she portrays Portia Taylor on Empire.
I liked her.
I saw the first season of Empire and I loved it, and I don't know why I just haven't watched it since.
See, I don't watch Empire. I feel like I was the only person alive that doesn't watch it. I want to watch it. I heard it's great, but I really loved her actually on the show, and just how open and honest she was, and her backstory. It almost made me cry. But I love to hear stories like that. Just how she never even acted before and auditioned for Empire and ended up getting the role.
Like, how does that even happen?
That's so impressive.
It can happen though. So.
And she was talking about how rough it was with her brother who was like gunned down, is what she said. Like, can you imagine trying to move forward in your life after something traumatic like that happened? I couldn't.
Oof, I know, she's super strong, and it's so awesome to hear her pursuing her goals. And I also liked how she mentioned she had 2 options at once. Where the other job gave her a stable income, but then she also got the offer to do the role for Empire.
Yeah.
And of course, it was taking a risk and a gamble going for something that you're not really feeling fully confident in quite yet. You're kind of still figuring it out, and the fact that she went for it and is doing such a great job, and the show is just getting so popular. I feel super happy for her.
You have to go after your dreams.
Yeah, chase them.
Now she's on Cocktails with Khloe. I mean, it's crazy. She grew up in Newark, New Jersey. Hey, from New Jersey. So she grew up, like I said, it's in a poor area. Newark is definitely not a very, very great area, because I mean, I've been there like a bunch of times, or passed in. It's just not really the nicest area. So like, yeah, like it's not really that great. But yeah, it said that her brother was murdered 5 months prior to her getting a job. Like that's. And what was the story again? She was talking about how she needed a sign. She's like, I don't know what to do.
If her brother's watch went off, or the watch that her brother gave her went off, or something.
She was like, I don't know if I should take this job or that job, and I guess her brother gave her a watch and it went off.
Yeah, it never went off before, and it was right when she was praying and asking the question, and it went off.
It's so sad. Like, that's just so cool. Like, things like that happen. It's just like right at the right time, and it like helped her make the decision to be on the show. Very cool.
I know. I liked her. She did a good job tonight. I felt like it was kind of an interesting vibe, and it was all ladies at first, which I'm like, I'm glad they had a little mix up at the end and threw in a guy. But, it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked seeing her on there as well, and I kind of haven't really heard that much about her as a person outside of Empire. So I'm glad to hear this story, actually, and be inspired in that regard.
They talked about, Khloe talked about her family dynamic and her momager a little
That's
bit.
literally what I was just going to start. That's what I was going to bring up.
I love it.
The momager.
Kris Jenner really made it happen for every single one of her kids.
No, she really did. Like,
she
honestly,
did.
as much crap as people talk about Kris Jenner, she is like a genius at building brands.
Yeah,
she really
is great. Love her so much.
Like,
and
that's intense work right there.
Yes.
To do that. Like, it's more work than people think it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
Would you guys, I think we may have talked about this before, would you guys ever want your parents to be...
My mom was my manager. My mom was my momager. Yeah, like literally my mom got me so much more work than anybody I've worked out here in California with. Like, seriously, my mom, every week, she'd be like, all right, you're going to be in this commercial. You're going to go audition for this. Yeah, my mom was great. Well, because I lived in Missouri at the time. So, I mean, sure, like, in Missouri, it's a little easier to get into things than it is out here. But literally, my mom had it lined up for me. And I just was so grateful for all of that. And it's just moving out here, like, it's like, I wish I could have my mom with me, because literally, she got me into everything.
Get your
They
mom out
can
here.
be so persuasive too. I feel like my mom could like talk her way into anything. I loved it. I'm like, man, I got to get some of that skill, the gift of gab.
They're so protective of their kids
Of
too.
course.
So it's like Mama Bear, no one's like hurting
Got
my
your
kids.
best interest.
Seriously.
Exactly.
And, a lot of people are always talking about how they have stage moms and like, oh, they're so, my mom
different.
would always be like, what do you want to do? Like, is this something you want to do? And like, she followed me on my dream, and she really helped make it happen for me to move out here. And like, she helped me make all the money that I made from the different shows that I did and like going on off Broadway for me to be able to move out here. So shout out to you, Mom. I love you so much.
No, I wouldn't like that. My mom could be my accountant, because I suck with like numbers and stuff, but I mean, we've talked about she wouldn't want to either. We'd kill each other. Like, Justine, I asked you to do this. Because, like, we're just so much alike. We would, like, it just wouldn't work. Like, I love her, but we need a separation there. Like,
Understandable.
when it comes to work, it could either really, like, help the relationship or really screw it up. It really could.
Yeah. It's different, I think, for certain people. It depends on the relationship you have with your parent and everything like that.
Or if your mom wants to even do that. So
Right, exactly. That's a big job. It's a full-time duty.
My mom wouldn't want to do that.
She did it so great, and I don't know how she did it, but she just like with the best. I love her so much.
Aww.
I miss her.
That's so cute. But sorry, that sounded really bitchy. I really didn't mean it. I really didn't mean it like that. I was like, that's
cute.
cute.
Moving on.
I didn't mean that. I was like thinking and talking at the same time.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, so I was just getting into Tisha. Her son is actually autistic, and that is so crazy. Like, I had no idea. Like, the way she was talking about stuff today, she was like, yeah, you know, my son's autistic, and I was sexually assaulted at 3, and like just said it like it was nothing. I was like, whoa.
Well,
She said, I was sexually assaulted when I was 3, right? So basically, she said like that.
The sexually assaulted
at
at 3, obviously, she's very open and comfortable talking about it. And then we go into finding out what she really did when she got, you know, the letter from the person that actually raped her later in life. So obviously, it's something she's gone through, and she's worked through her demons. But with when she was talking about her son, though, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it whole started on the topic with Dr. Drew, who I love too, about if we could just teach our kids one thing, it would be empathy, and the world would be a different place. And I love that, because I totally believe that.
Totally
I agree. You have to kind of understand where somebody's coming from and the path they've walked to. You know, understand their decisions, because I feel like it's really easy nowadays, especially to judge, since everybody has their ideals, and especially online too.
Or just to get so mad so quickly at someone you don't even know what's going on in their life, you know?
Exactly. A lot goes on behind closed doors. So yeah, I like that, because she is such an amazing actress to me. Like, I think she's so funny and talented, and to see her still using that skill and then going on, you know, having all these serious things going on at home at the same time, like, that's kind of hard to not separate your personal and work life, and yet she does it so seamlessly, and I gotta commend her.
And she's so open with her, like, personal, like, very traumatic, emotional things that I commend her to be that open in public.
Yeah.
How do you guys, like, how would you guys handle if someone that, you know, sexually assaulted you at a really young age wrote you an apology letter? Like, what would you guys do? Because I know she has like a lot of faith, and you hear her talking about forgiving, and like, what do you guys, like, what's your point of view on that?
I don't know. I think by the time you've grown up, it's something that obviously traumatized you for probably a long time, and you hopefully have dealt with that issue and the problems. I would forgive at that point, because there's really no point of holding like hate or judgment anymore. So I probably would forgive him. It's not like I'm going to talk to them, and just kind of at least know for my own personal sanity that he did apologize, and just let it go, release it.
I think, like, for me, like, I have a really hard time forgiving people, like, fully. Like, I get so bitter, and like I like lash out, and I'll be like, oh, I'm fine, it's all good. But then, like, I'll hear something about them, and I'll just like go off.
And in the back of your head, you're like, well, they did this to me, and it's like,
it's really
don't
hard to
screw me
forgive.
over.
And you know, like, with me, it's like, once someone screws me over, and I can say that I forgive them, but I like forget them. That's my thing. So, like, do you forgive me? No, but I forget you. Like, bye, bitch. You know,
Right.
Kind of like that. I don't know.
No, I agree. I totally think that would be a super hard situation to be in, and I honestly don't know how I would react. It's easy for me to say I'd want to forgive, because I think that would be what my head would be telling me to do, but my heart would probably be a different story.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that's why it's so great to hear about that message earlier, where it's like empathy, and not even to forgive the other person necessarily for their actions, but just so you can get on along with your own life and like be happy and kind of move on. So even after such a horrible trauma that necessarily can scar you for a lifetime. So
and I feel like it's different, if not different, but someone that is like mentally ill, like has a problem, that almost, like, some people go into blackouts, like some people don't remember things, like, not saying that's an excuse, but that's like a totally different situation than just like a freaking crazy, well, I guess that means they're kind of mentally sick too.
I think you'd have to be mentally sick to sexually harass a 3-year-old. You'd have to have something wrong with you.
Definitely.
So,
and I come from a place and like a family, and like I'm like religious, so
true.
I'm very, like, you know, I'm all about, you know, forgiving and everything. It's just personally, we all struggle with that, no matter if you are religious or not. Like, everyone struggles with forgiveness. It's not an easy thing. So, like, it's something I work on, and I try to forgive, but like, it is very tough.
Right.
Very tough, because I mean, I feel like all of us have come from places where people have screwed us over, and it's not easy to move on.
Yeah, every human, I think,
sometimes
has that experience.
like you said, sometimes it's like not that necessarily you have to forgive them for what they did, but sometimes it is best to just like forget them and just and let it, like, just get it out of your life, like completely just forgive the situation almost.
Sometimes
not
I
the
literally
person.
have to just like cut somebody, you know,
Right.
and be like, sorry. You know?
I mean, we've all done it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it moving.
Gotta keep it going on the train to forgiveness. You know what I'm saying?
Love it. All right, so we got our next guest, which is Cardi B.
Oh gosh.
Cardi B.
She is from Love and Hip Hop, and
Yes.
she was a previous stripper.
Yep.
What did you think of her, guys? Her whole aura I could not
No.
stand.
Wow.
Drove me
Okay.
nuts.
All right, you
Kidding.
guys. I watch her from Love and Hip Hop, and honestly, she is lovable on that show, and especially
Not
in
on
this
this
too.
one.
I still find her lovable just because of how she owns who she is. She may not have actions or intentions that everybody agrees with. Definitely not. She's very controversial. Like, everywhere she goes, I feel like a lot of people are like, girl, come on. And she is all about, you know, her image and her persona, and she just rides with it. She may
didn't-
not have values you like.
I didn't like the sunglasses in the room. Like, that's like what rappers usually do. Like, I don't know.
Well,
like,
she
I
is a singer or something.
Yeah.
I feel
But
like
you know what I mean.
I feel like she's one of those people that you either like you love her or you just like you cannot stand her. And obviously, Love and Hip Hop is such a huge
Franchise,
show.
yeah.
Huge, yeah. He has a huge fan base. But
What is it? Is it like a reality show? Is it
Yeah,
like a...
it's like Love and Hip Hop. So they show a bunch of hip hop or music related people on a reality based television show, and you kind of get to see the stories and how they all kind of intermingle. But they're not afraid to show like super personal things, like the things she revealed tonight, even that she's dating a guy in jail, or that, you know, she stripped in the past. Like, she's not afraid to go there, and everybody
hooking up with women, too.
Yeah, exactly.
I love whenever she was like,
whoa.
you know, my man, he's in jail, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, but then like the part where she says something like when she went to like the like she used to work for the Amish store, and then the guy's
Right.
like, here, I'll hook you up, go across the street, and I forget if it was, I think it was the girl from Empire. She had her drink, and she's like, what?
Sip, yeah, sips tea.
Sips
well, I
tea.
love that she's dating a girl while her man's in jail. And she's just like, yep. I'm like, I wonder if the guy knows.
I mean, he said that it was okay that if she like was with other women while he was there, he just didn't
think-
want her to be with a guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like that's like a lot of guys. Well, some guys think this. Like, it's okay if like their girl's with like a woman, but definitely not,
Not
a guy.
over there.
Definitely
No.
not a guy.
I mean,
It's like a
for
double
me-
standard.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a girl comes up to like you know, you're with your boyfriend. If a girl comes up to you and starts, because there are girls that do this, like come up and start flirting with you
Yeah.
for whatever attention, whatever, and your boyfriend's like just cool with it, like whatever. If that was a guy that came up, he would be like, hell no.
It's such a
And
double
it
standard.
happened to me. So
It's such a double standard, and I don't know why, but it's like it is different when it's a girl. But I'm admitting it's a double standard, but I don't know why it's different.
Like, why would, okay, imagine like
There-
if the girl's in jail and she's like, you know what, I don't want you to be with girls, but you can be with guys.
that's like so different.
Why?
It's so
Like,
different.
I don't understand how it's like a double. It's like a
It
total
is,
double
it
standard,
is.
and it's so funny because
It's
like
the whole like concept of like women and women, like all these guys, like they always just fantasize about it, and I don't know, like women I don't know.
It's
I
a
just-
conundrum. That's for
yeah. And you know, like people were talking about this before, like whenever girls say that they experiment and everything, like they're praised for it, but when guys are like, yeah, you know, I don't mind sleeping, or you know what I mean, like they get judged for it. So I
Yeah.
don't understand how that's like the huge double standard, like how it's okay for girls but not okay for guys. I just find the whole thing interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
To say
know.
about that.
Unsolved mysteries, I tell ya.
What?
No, I agree.
Oh, okay.
I agree. Like, it's a double standard, but like it is more acceptable for girls to hook up than guys, and I don't know why. It's just it is, and but I know I'm like, this isn't right, but I don't know.
I know. I mean, Cardi B is cool because she does admit to things like that with literally no shame. You can just see her; it rolls off the tongue. Nothing is censored or filtered, and like you gotta respect her for that regard. She's not afraid, and she's young. I want to say she's in her early 20s, and she is on the new season or the latest season of Love and Hip Hop. So this was kind of her first experience, in my knowledge, as far as like doing the reality television
Yeah.
thing, and to now have her single on iTunes #7. I'm like, okay.
What's
I mean,
her
it's,
song called? I didn't even catch that.
I don't know. I'm sure there's one called Shmoney. That's like her.
Shmoney.
I mean, it's not, but she should have one.
Yeah.
She says that, and it's
You're
kind
the
of catchy.
expert.
Yes, but I don't know. I just love that
Yeah.
franchise.
And I don't mean to bash on her.
my
like,
guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
I'm not
like,
gonna lie.
some people are very like open and like cool with like just whatever goes and let's you know like do all these things and whatever, you know, to each their own. But like for me, just watching someone who's was literally, just for my opinion, did not have a morals.
I understand.
I mean, that was kind of like weird for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like that the difference is I like that she's open, but so is Khloé, but Khloé isn't.
Khloé's a more classy open.
It's not like scandalous.
Like I'm an open person. I'll say whatever, but like I don't know. I just don't know what it is about her. I'm not saying she's a bad person.
No, I'm just saying like
Just
Just flavor. You love it or you hate it.
Exactly, and I feel like that's how people feel about me sometimes because I just literally say how it is, and people either literally are just like, "This girl sucks. She's a bitch," or they like me. So I'm like, I really don't care.
what can you do?
Yeah, you can't.
I really don't. Like I really don't.
You at the end of the day.
I think it's when I first started doing stuff on on TV and stuff, like it would bother me. I'd be like, oh my god, like I feel like I'd have to defend myself. I'm like, wait, why do they think I'm like this? I'm really not. And then I'm like, there's no, like, I have people on my other after show, they're like, we love you guys are amazing. People are like, this is the worst panel in the entire AfterBuzz. I'm just like, you can't please everyone.
Everyone's got an opinion.
I mean, everybody, like you guys out there, like I feel like it goes on for everybody. It doesn't have to be just being on like TV. Like everybody, it's like that in just everyday life, no matter what you are. If you're in the office, if you're at school's probably
so
the worst.
true.
Yeah.
It's
School is worse.
I had like one of my very first haters the other day online, and they were
Very
like
first.
one of my
Welcome
very
to the
first.
club.
Like I
had a hater.
I mean, I've had haters. Okay, like people in my
I'm
life,
impressed. I know.
but
Who's
like
hating
people
you?
online, because like I like to think I'm likable. Like I can relate to a lot of things in people, but like this person just like did not like me, and I'm not used to people calling me out on the internet like that. So literally they wrote this nasty thing, and I wrote back, I said something like, you sound so lovely. I was like, you just sound like the coolest person ever. Thank you so much for watching.
That's awesome.
And I like screenshotted it, and then I posted it on Twitter, and I put hashtag sit down, and then I put Kermit for the Frog Legs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Did she respond? Or
No, but
That's really the best answer. The response you can give is just be super nice. Then
Yeah.
it shuts
Right.
them up.
yeah.
That's what I said.
You'll
super
feed
nice.
into it.
They don't think we read their comments, but
The
please.
girl, that's what's so funny is this girl that commented on my other show. She's just like, this is the worst panel on AfterBuzz, and then I just responded. I was like, thank something. I forget what it was, but I was just like nicely like, that's your opinion, but we don't care. And she's like, well, same here. And I'm just like,
They're like, what do you want from me? Like,
I can't imagine people not liking you guys. You guys are so sweet and so nice. Like me, like I could just like.
Though, I mean, people will always find a reason to not like you. You can be perfect in every way, and not saying that I am, because I'm certainly not, but like they'll literally find anything and like rip it to shreds. So I'm always open to like constructive criticism if I feel like it's coming from a good place of like, oh, this will help you if you know this, and you can like use this to assist you in the future. But if you're just breaking me down and trying to like assassinate my character, then I'm like,
that's nice.
at work
over the shoulder, forget
at
it.
work today, someone was said something like, oh, I think you're doing that wrong. I'm like, actually I'm not, but that's cool. Like I totally just like shut them down, and they're like,
Oh, the worst is people.
like when
at
people
work.
try to like do authority over you, I'm like, no.
try to make you look bad or throw you under the bus.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, actually no, I'm doing it perfectly fine. You're the one wrong, but cool.
Haters.
And they were like, oh shoot, like the nice kid actually has something to say. I'm like,
And
yeah.
that's why the Kardashians, like, I mean, every celebrity deals with it. I mean, you look at, even on Instagram, like, I'll look at their comments, and it's just like, you're the most beautiful person ever, you're so inspirational. Next person, you guys, your family's terrible, you should die.
They
I'm
get
like,
it.
holy
They get it.
crap.
They get it so bad. I mean, but they
do.
put themselves out there. But
They do it.
I mean, we'll go into a little news and gossip later. But I was reading some of the comments on one of our little topics last night, and just people attacking Khloé and Kourtney and Kim
On what?
a recent little on Rob.
Yeah, okay.
on Rob.
On Rob.
We'll get to
Rob
that.
is
I'm
a
sure
whole
everyone knows
thing.
about right now. But
Yes.
Yes.
He was trending the other day.
Yeah.
Stay
Well,
tuned.
Like, on the topic of dating crazy people,
Yes, bring him in.
one of the games they were playing, one of the questions was, do you usually date people crazier than you are? So they all had some interesting answers. What about you guys?
Yes, I would say yes. Definitely.
I usually date someone who I think is going to be like a normal, like nice, like
Stable.
loving, stable person. And I don't know why, but I always attract the people who are literally the hardest to deal with. Like moody, like, oh, well, I I don't know.
I haven't tried. Like my friends even say like I have a magnet on my forehead for like the crazies. Like for whatever reason they're drawn to me. I don't know
Like
why.
I don't get it. Like
I think it's like a passion thing. Like it starts out as passion, and then you realize like it takes a left turn somewhere down the line.
they're either crazy or they have no emotion, and I can't deal with that.
I'm always the
Need a happy
crazy one.
medium.
I definitely have the ones that have emotion, but
I'm always the crazy one. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, girls can be crazy, and so can guys. So it's like
That's
it's
true.
definitely not just
Like,
ladies.
I'm crazy, but like I feel like in a relationship, I'm the one always like trying to hold it together and be sweet
Right,
and loving.
of
I feel like I'm
course.
super loving, and I've always been with people who are just like,
Well, the thing is, I used to date guys that were as crazy as me or crazier, and that like, oh my god, like I'm already wired as it is. Like it was like me and my ex were just like butt heads, like too much. So, you know, I've started to go for more of the guys that are a little bit more reserved, a little bit more quiet, because then we balance each other out, or
Yeah.
else it's like it will not work.
you need
like,
a good balance for sure.
I've had some. Do you guys have any crazy stories from
About what?
guys or girls?
about what?
Like fun, crazy stories of anything happening that's crazy in like a relationship? Because I have a bunch, but I have one that's really funny.
Tell us.
So I basically like met this guy on Plenty of Fish. This was literally when I was like 21. And we ended up going on this date, and like I liked him. It was cool, whatever. I was in that phase where I'm like, I want a boyfriend because I don't want to be alone. And so, long story short, we hung out, like it was good, like nothing bad. Like how come they seem normal and then all of a sudden they go crazy? Everything was good. I went home. He lived a little further from me, so he drove down. Oh my god, he was sitting in my mom's back porch.
No.
And no, like out of nowhere, he's just sitting there with his head down. And I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, he wouldn't answer me. He's just sitting, staring, not answering me. Finally, I go out, and then, so I go in, and I shut the door and lock it, because he was kind of scary. Like, he was just like this. No, he leaves. Then I look outside. He's gone. When I say I had to turn my phone off, 60 missed calls, you mother effer, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, he tried to apologize to me. I'm so sorry, it's not who I am. And I'm like, really? Like, you flipped out on me like that?
Wait, what was he saying? Like, I can't believe that you left me out there?
Yeah, and just like, you don't know what I'm dealing with, blah, blah, blah. I'm going through a hard time. I'm like, I literally tried to talk to you, and you, like, it was just weird.
Some mental issues for sure.
Yeah, I think my craziest story is just I'm always with these people who, like, they want to be with you, and she's like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. And then the next day she's just like not having it, or like she's moody.
Well, that's just a girl for you in general.
No, it's crazy. Like I don't get it, because like I just don't get it. But
Our moods change a lot.
one of these days I'll find
Ain't
someone.
that the truth?
Yeah, I'm very patient, but at a point I'm just like literally like, do you want to do this or not? Like, are we gonna go through with this or not?
Now, another question they asked was, are you surprised by your own behavior?
Every day.
Yeah.
Definitely. For
I
sure.
definitely think so. I feel like we're always changing, and then there's like good and bad that comes with it. Like sometimes I'm like, yeah, girl, get it. Like you really improved yourself, and then I'm like, man, you've gone back 5 steps back to square one, right?
Do you guys have alter egos?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
and especially when there's alcohol involved. I
Yeah.
definitely look back and I'm very surprised by my behavior if I can remember it.
If you can remember it.
Which not all the time can I do that.
110%. So yeah, like I said, this episode was kind of slow. Is there anything else?
What about James? You didn't introduce
Yeah.
him.
Oh my
James
god,
Maslow.
Big time rush.
Mr.
Yes.
James.
I just whistled when I
James.
said
Okay,
rush.
so he's honestly like, I feel like he was barely in it.
I know.
Because
Yeah.
he came so late. So he's an
he did come
actor.
late.
He's in Nickelodeon's Big Time Rush, and he's also the member of the band Big Time Rush.
Yeah.
He like wasn't really in it. He came so late today.
Yeah.
What about him? He's cute.
He was cute. Cardi B was all like flirting with him.
gosh.
He looked so uncomfortable.
No, he was so annoyed with her. I could tell. He was kind of like, oh.
It's funny
Scared.
because he has this like ego where he's he's one of those guys that you just know like every girl has thrown themselves at him. He had that little like I hate
Like
when
cockiness?
people have the macho ego thing. I can't like I don't know. I mean, he
I'm
seems
too
like a
good.
nice
Like
guy.
I'm too good to date or something.
I didn't pick up on that when I saw him talking, and he mentioned how he wasn't sure about like hooking up with fans, but he did say he would. He wants somebody to be a fan of his work. But then he said he hadn't been in a relationship for 2.5 years. So yeah, that either means he's been entirely like celibate, or he's been just hooking up and enjoying his career. So either
Yeah.
way, you know.
Have you guys been with people who
cahoots,
are
but-
because he was talking about how he was like he wanted to be with someone who was a fan of his. Have you guys ever been with someone who literally is not a fan of yours at all, could give a rat's butt about what you do?
I feel like I've been in like questionable relationships in the past where I would say that like our goals and intentions didn't entirely line up.
Like they don't support you.
Yeah, like I felt like, and it wasn't even that they didn't support me. I just felt like it didn't intersect. Like the two minds didn't work together anymore. Like we grew up, and that's normal. And I didn't like bash him or vice versa. So it's like, you know, I feel like that kind of happens in relationships.
See, that's something I want to find. I want to find someone who's going to be a fan of like my work and like what I love to do. Because like I've been there before, where it's literally like they couldn't care less about what you do, or they'll be like. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I just got this huge audition for a movie today. Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I've been in those. Yeah, I've been in those relationships
okay.
too, and like I've even been in one like where the person almost like would try to like make me feel bad.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Like,
that was happened to me last time. Like, why are you trying to make me feel bad
Never
about what
will
I
I
love
ever
to do?
do that again. No.
You want to motivate you want someone that motivates you, and the thing is, like, even if you're not going for the same thing, you can tell when someone's genuinely like, oh my god, like, I'm so happy for you, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like when my ex, like, I'd say something, he'd be like, that's cool.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like, seriously?
Blase.
Like, oh.
I feel like I'm getting out all of my frustration energy of this one person tonight, and I'm sorry. Usually I don't do that, but I'm getting all my energy out of this
Yeah,
person
I mean, you need
today.
you definitely need someone that's supportive. You have to be supportive of each other for it to last.
It's like totally imperative. Like,
Sometimes dating people in the same industry is a little tough though, because it becomes competitive.
It is.
And think about Hollywood, like, I mean, I'm not saying all, but a lot of relationships don't last.
It's
hard.
true. It's true. Well, there's a lot that comes into play with that too,
Right.
other than the competitiveness, like being away, temptation,
Yeah.
rumors,
Right.
paparazzi,
Exactly.
just your own issues. So they don't last a lot of times, but sometimes they do.
it's crazy. Kind of like discouraging, but one of these days.
Yeah, but there are successful ones. I try to
Stay
view
positive.
those, just as much as I realize the reality of the situation as well. As like, you know, in any industry though, there's going to be infidelity and cheating and temptation. So I mean, that's just the one we've got a spotlight on. So it's clear to say, like,
very true.
Do you guys got anything else to add?
I do want to say one more thing about the whole thing with people saying that they wanted the Kardashians to tell Mason and like the little kids that Bruce had died.
That's so awful.
Oh my god, I forgot they said that. That was so weird.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know, like Grandpa Bruce, he died. Like, that's so weird.
But here's Grandma Caitlyn, like, no.
It's weird in both senses. Like, it's not weird that, like,
the people actually suggested that they tell.
like, it's not weird that he turned into Caitlyn, but like for them it's weird.
It's very hard to explain that to a child, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I was
like
thinking.
Mason, who was 4, who had a relationship with Bruce.
Like, never mind.
How do you? Yes.
No. Yeah, so I don't like that they told them to say that he died, because it's like, no. So I'm so glad the Kardashians didn't listen to that, because that would be really sad. Like,
So like, that is so weird. I heard that the
wonder
show
who
is
told them that.
canceled.
Which one?
Yeah.
I am Kate.
It's a little rumor.
Wait, really?
A little news.
Oh, I am Kate. I was thinking.
Until when? Like,
I don't know, but what I was told was, think about this. The more, I was talking to someone and they're right about this, the more someone gets famous, the more unrelatable they get. Because one, either their egos, two, because I think about it, they're not as relatable once they're huge, to the sense that, like, they're not. Like, you can relate a little, but you can't fully relate to them. And so I guess, you know, if you watched I Am Kate, not relatable at all.
Oh, the Kardashians. I mean, they were relatable at one point, but they definitely aren't anymore.
They're getting to the point where they're almost getting too big, that people are like, I can't relate because I'll never be that
too
big.
big for a reality show.
Yeah,
not
like,
for other things. Yeah,
yeah,
Right,
like,
for entertainment value.
Yeah,
It's
they're
good.
like, I could never be like them, because it's like it's not real anymore.
I think if they're fascinating and they're interesting and the crazy, that it makes a good reality show, even if they are.
I think with like Cocktails with Kardashians, keeping up with Kardashians, I think that for me, I honestly do find it pretty relatable when it comes to the real life situations that come up in their lives. So yes, they're huge, they're famous, but like, I love the way that, you know, Kim and like Khloé and Kourtney, they'll say something and it'll be like, oh my gosh, they're human. Like, it's so funny to watch that. So like, I find it pretty relatable in the sense that, like, yes, they're all like, you know, perfectly perfect, and, you know, they walk around life looking amazing, but like some of the stuff that they say or do
or go through is
it's real, but like some of the stuff they say is just ridiculous, and I love it because I feel like I can relate to that.
No, I totally agree with you on that. I think all I meant was, like they were more relatable back then.
Yeah.
It's getting like, even though you can watch it and it's still, you know, a part of it still is, it's becoming less and less. Like I watch now and it's just, you know, all they do is in the background you see the paparazzi. You see all this stuff that's not relatable. Like I can't relate to that. Like I can't relate to the things they're doing.
Do you remember the early episodes, like when like Khloé and Kourtney were like going to their store that they were like running?
Yes.
Like that was so, even the way it was filmed was so like, oh, this is like my everyday life kind of. And now
they're not doing that anymore.
Right.
Have you seen Like, have you guys been to Dash in LA on Melrose?
I've been to New York one.
Okay, well, like I've seen the building of the old one, and it was like very relatable. Like it was like this little shopping center, but now it's like so like
Posh and big,
posh. And it's great. It's cool, but like. I could just, I mean, Dash dolls, you know, they do show up from time to time and like to help with the store, but like, it's just, I never pictured one of the Kardashians walking in there. It's just because it's so like, it's like a brand now. It's not as much as like a family business.
How are they priced? Just curious.
Oh, like very expensive.
wow, okay.
I went in and bought a pair of Rob's socks just to say that I bought something from there. And like, you know, $16 for a pair of socks is, you know, not too bad, but like their shirt,
I'm like, dollar store,
$40,
please.
$50. Yeah, just for a shirt that said Dash was like, I feel like maybe $40 or $50. And then like all their dresses and everything, those were like over $200. And I mean, it's not.
They don't need the money.
I mean,
why is it so expensive?
Boutique prices.
But no one really like. Every time I've gone in there, everyone buys like, oh, the water bottle, the socks, the keychain. So because
like
it's like a tourist
keepsakes.
place.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like I've never seen anyone go in there to actually buy something like to try on anything or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time for some news and gossip.
I agree.
Yes.
We have a lot of things.
Oh boy. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to start?
Oh, there's so much.
Let me start off really quick because it's nothing crazy. It's nothing big. All I want to say was that I work sometimes at the Mac in Beverly Hills, and so there's like this right across from the Cheesecake Factory. There was like all of these paparazzi. We're like, who is it? And we saw Kendall get out.
No.
But then, of course, they're like, wait, I think there's other people inside, whatever. And like, you know, she was in there for a while, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on break. When is she? First of all, I saw her go in. Who's she gonna like? When she's not gonna come out while I'm back there for only 15 minutes. Suppose that I was back there, Kim, Kanye, North, Khloé, Kourtney, all of them walked out. Didn't even see it. They're like, you missed it. I'm like, I have been here and I'm not very starstruck. But you know, there's certain people you'd like to see, and everyone's like, oh, you live in LA? I've been here 2 years. I've seen like no one.
Really?
That's why I've seen Kendall. That's it. Yeah, seriously. And I'm like,
they were on a
15 minutes
store across.
right there. And I was like, are
I
you
think that's
kidding?
a lot in LA. A lot of times you see people, you don't realize it. Like they just kind of, a lot of people blend.
Yeah.
Well, not then. There were people screaming.
That's so crazy that you missed them. Ah, that sucks.
It's annoying. I was like, why? Like, I was like, I'm just gonna go now because it's just, whatever.
What can you do?
Just missed them.
So,
What can you do?
yeah.
All right,
boy.
what else do we got, guys?
We got so much.
It's a big story that everyone's freaking out over. Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna are engaged.
What do you
Check
guys
out
think?
that bling.
That ring.
What do you guys
The
think?
7-carat ring
Picture
that
of
he
the ring here.
Do you think it's gonna
proposed
last
with.
or not last? I say not.
You know, I have really
So
mixed.
positive.
I have really mixed feelings about this one because poor Rob, like I feel like
He loves with his whole
I feel
heart.
like she's good for him, like in a way. Like she brought him out of his shell. He lost weight. He's happy. He's just going about his life now. I mean, he was unhappy, depressed, doing all kinds of bad things before, and she's good. I feel like she's good for him in a way, but it's a messed up situation.
It really is.
Like it's some Jerry Springer soap opera stuff.
I think he's like rebelling, like, haha, family, you know, you think this is the fling? Oh, well, guess what? We're engaged.
There's all this trust that like
Yeah.
she's gonna take the Kardashians' last name. Of course she is.
Oh,
my God.
And her real name is Angela, so she's gonna go by Angela Kardashian. So she's gonna be a Kardashian.
I didn't even think about that because he's the
my
only
God.
guy.
He's the only guy. They're the
could
only ones to carry on the name. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh
Talk
my
about having that
gosh.
baby.
Oh,
You're
boy.
set for life. So, not that I'm saying that's what she's doing, but
She's gonna be a Kardashian.
Yeah,
wow.
Putting that out there.
They probably are like, no.
Earlier in our show, I was saying like I was just curiously looking at Instagram last night after this news and looking at Khloé's Instagram and Kourtney and Kim and all these people were bashing them like, why haven't you congratulated your brother? Like, but pretty like way worse than that. And
Wow.
just I mean, what are they gonna say? I mean, maybe Rob doesn't even want them to do that. Maybe like we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Like, oh, congratulations for getting engaged to Kylie's boyfriend's baby daddy of the.
Kylie is a lot younger than Tyga. Like she was underage when she was dating him,
Yeah.
and they were
Weird.
and they were okay with that. They should be okay. I mean,
They're pretty open-minded.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
don't know.
Rob looks really enamored with her, which I will say is a good thing. I'm happy to see him so happy. But yeah, I am concerned of her intentions. But I did see a tweet recently from Amber Rose also commenting like, love comes in the strangest places. And yeah, congratulations. So
I
I'm
don't
like,
see them together.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. We will never know until, whatever
I do
happens.
like that we're finally starting to see Rob again, and he has like a smile on his face, and
right.
he looks like he's losing weight.
He has
like,
such a good smile.
And it's not like I don't see them together because of the way they look. It's just like the personality. Like it's just weird. Like I'm just
the
shocked.
family tree is going to be interesting and the reunions, but
mean,
it
so
sounds like
it's-
they're going to have to get comfortable.
So it's like, say you had a boyfriend and then their baby mama all of a sudden dated your brother or was engaged to your brother. I mean, that would make a really uncomfortable family dinner or like Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
Any normal person situation that would be like uncalled for, like unheard of, like no, that's not okay. But in the Kardashian world, I guess it's okay.
I mean,
like
I was confused. I almost couldn't even break it down right there. So,
Yeah.
like,
So confusing.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, I heard that he actually proposed while the family went on a ski trip, which we have pictures from that up there.
It was
you can
all of them?
see, yes, well, it was Kourtney, Scott, Khloé, Kendall, Kylie, Kim, and I believe Kanye, as well as the kids. So they jet set it out there. You can check out their awesome red carpet jet. You see Kendall looking good, Kylie looking good, taking a little snapshot
Wouldn't
for
that
their
be nice?
Instagram. I know, right? Just hop on a jet and go to the snow.
I'm getting on
Did
the
you-
plane tomorrow. I'm like, Jesus,
Really?
like, I gotta wait online, gotta do this.
Yeah.
I'm
The
like,
private jet
can I get on my
status,
jet? They don't have to go through security.
Oh, I know, and they just enjoyed a weekend in the
Yeah.
snow. I mean, Khloé was seen skiing. Kourtney and Scott were rocking head-to-toe snow gear, obviously.
Do you know if they're back together, Kourtney and Scott? I'm so confused.
I don't know, but I think they're gonna co-parent, obviously, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Did you hear that this trip was actually like they all hopped on this private jet not knowing where they were going to go, and it was Kris Jenner's like surprise to them idea, like you guys, you don't know where we're going to go, we're all going to get together, and then like she finally like just took them there and then told them what they were going to do.
Can you imagine?
I know her. She was there, and her boyfriend Chris Gamble was there also.
Oh,
Yep.
Corey.
Corey, yeah.
Corey
Yeah.
Gamble,
Corey
yep.
Gamble.
Justin Bieber's manager.
Yeah.
Yep, super interesting. So
Crazy
that, of
stuff.
course, is
Can
going
you
on.
imagine? Like, I remember Kim saying one time, like, yeah, like, oh my God, I have to get new pregnancy clothes, so I went to Paris for the day. And I'm like, oh, like,
Now this is where we come into the unrelatable factor.
exactly.
Like let's all hop on a plane and like scavenger hunt like across the U.S. and see where we're going to go next. Like that's crazy to me.
I always say this. What do you guys think? I always say everyone wants to be rich. Everyone like, that would be nice. I want to get on a plane and go there. But then does it lose its value? Like, oh, what is Kim getting for Christmas this year? She can get it any day
Of course it loses its value, but I also think that also creates other people's obsession with them in that whole, just in like that, people are obsessed with that celebrity Hollywood lifestyle in general. Like people that
Glamour,
don't
right.
live in Hollywood think it's they think it's like a magazine, like a Us Weekly magazine, but that's not reality. Obviously we know that. So it's just that obsession with celebrity rich culture, you know?
Like people, I'm going to Hollywood. You come in, you're like, wait, this is Hollywood.
Like, wait, why is there a like homeless Superman sleeping on the corner?
Oh my gosh, seriously.
Like,
The one thing that they Kardashians have said that they, are not going to buy, but they'd love to buy because it's too expensive, but they could probably afford it, but they just don't want to spend the money on it,
Yeah.
is their own private jet. They rent it out, but they've never bought one, but they were talking about buying one and they,
they
said
can
it was going
afford
to be
it.
too much.
All of them together.
I know, but they said it was going to be way too much. Like it's a huge thing and they just might as well just rent it,
They're like millionaires.
I know. Probably
Interesting.
more like billionaires, probably.
So
but,
like wouldn't you get? I feel like them like they would so get their own jet. Like
I know.
I'm getting my own jet.
But they did say that during the episode, they're like, that's too expensive. We'll just rent it. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. At least they like have one thing.
Do a
out
little
there.
rental.
Yeah, like okay.
So do we have any more news and gossip?
We have one more big piece of sad news.
I know.
here.
So Wednesday, April 20th will be the last episode of Cocktails with Khloe. The show had the plug pulled on it less than 3 months after its debut. It was allegedly canceled, and according to a statement from FYI and Pilgrim Media Group, it will finish after 14 episodes. So the statement read, FYI and Pilgrim Media Group appreciate everyone's great work on the series and are pleased that the show brought new viewers in significant numbers to FYI's linear and digital platforms. Additionally, they said, we are grateful to have had the opportunity to work with Khloe and thank her for her hard work and unique voice that she brought to the series. And I also did hear that Khloe was interested in pursuing other ventures, allegedly, so that's kind of why the show may have ended. But they will end with some awesome guests on the show. We're expecting Kim Kardashian, Kanye West. We're also expecting Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, so it will go out with a bang.
Yeah.
So
Stay tuned. I wonder if that's it, or she's trying to make herself look good. Like, because I feel like it got canceled. Yeah, like, I don't think she was, there's no way that she was like, you know what, I want to move on to better things. Like, she hosted her own show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you move on to more things if you're hosting your own show?
I was trying to figure out, because, like, I know it was supposed to continue longer, and it is ending sooner than it was supposed to go to, and just possibly maybe Khloe didn't want to do it anymore, or maybe she had something else.
And I bet it's hard to get guests like this all the time, you know, constantly getting several people to come together on a moment's notice, kind of, you know, from all walks of life.
Every
so,
week.
And it's always like a random assortment of just like people from like different shows.
Well, exactly.
I mean, usually it's like on a show, it's like it's one or two guests. Like we look at like a late night show, you know, it's like what, three guests in a band. I mean, so to have that many guests every week is a lot.
It's so true. I mean, I even think booking one is a lot.
Yeah, seriously.
It is.
But we've all loved the experience of doing this after show. We loved makes me really sad that we're not gonna have it.
I know,
No,
it makes me sad.
It does make me sad. I love you guys.
We gotta do. We want to try to
love.
do another Kardashian show, maybe Dash Dolls.
Yes.
We're gonna try to do that, but. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching so much this episode. I will not be here next week because I'm going to be home in Jersey for a little bit. So we have Howard. You haven't met him yet. He's going to be filling in, and
You will love him.
all these three lovely people over here will still be your hosts. But you can find me on. I'm like, which platform? Twitter on Justine DiVanna 3, and you can find me on Instagram at Let's Face It with Justine. I do a lot of like makeup looks, beauty looks. We're doing, I think on Monday I'm uploading a video, and it's like a DIY lip plumper challenge, and I got it kind of from Kylie, but it's like me and my friend did like brush your lips with cayenne pepper and then like a jalapeno. So it's gonna be really fun. So check it out on Monday. I'll comment below so you can see my YouTube page. So
Cool.
Nice.
Well, you can find me on YouTube under Dakota T Jones. I just posted a really fun Q&A video, and then also on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Dakota T Jones.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Laila Sadny.
Once again, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz.
I knew it.
Thank you for that.
All right, again, thank you guys so much. Tune in our last two episodes in the next 2 weeks. Make sure you tune in. So yeah, we will see you next week. Well, not me.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.